application I have been doing just to get you inspired, because in this course you have learned how to create an API using ChatGPT. But what about if you are blank? You wanna go around, you wanna make stuff. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas to get you inspired. Again, remember that you have a concept called tutorial hell, in which they follow a huge amount of Udemy course, they follow a huge amount of Udemy course, they follow a huge amount of YouTube tutorials, but they are unable to do a thing. That's called tutorial house. So my idea that you should as well. I know that I may get a lot of people angry because they want stuff that is already built, but I want to give you the opportunity to actually do stuff, to dirty your hand, to put some kind of. So here I want to get you inspired to take to a blog, talk to a blog spot. It's a very nice strategy because I have done that on one of my blog, in which the user can talk to the blog post. So instead of keep reading the blog post and people are always lazy to read, they can just make a question directly to the blog post. So the ChatGPT, so you can even instruct the ChatGPT to, for example, can say ChatGPT, just answer the question about the blog post, or can ask ChatGPT, please also use your information. So all of these, they call the context, as you saw during the course. Context is information you give ChatGPT. So you can divide your context in two parts. The first part, I have tested that a lot. The first part, you give ChatGPT a couple of instructions. How it should behave, what limitation. It may require you a considerable amount of testing. You may test different way because ChatGPT should be able to understand you. Sometimes you may see that ChatGPT didn't understand you very well, so you can change the context. You can tell me what to do, what not to do. All of this you can play around. You can try. You can test different ways to create the first part of your context. In the second part of your context, you add the blog post. See that this to here is just one string. You can separate this part on your code, but when you send ChatGPT, you should send it as one big string. You should sum these two of them. Remember that when you are working with ChatGPT, you have two roles. You have system role, and you have the content. You should add to the system. When you have the system, the first message you send, when you have an array of messages to GPT, a conversation, the first message should be role system, and context should add this context here. So from that point on, ChatGPT is going to use the conversation of your user plus the context you give it. So book suggestion, I have done as well. I have a couple of books that I have. So it was very interesting because I gave ChatGPT just the title and the short description. ChatGPT was able to give me. I wrote a very short message. ChatGPT was able to do it very well. It didn't just give the right book suggestion. It also gave the explanation why I should read that book. I think that was very nice. So if you have a set of book, can be yours. You can even create a kind of book suggestion app in which you have a book plus short description. The user write something about him, like I like to read. I like to read about sport. I love soccer. I love mathematics. So ChatGPT is able to see from the book's title, even the short description, and give the suggestion. Remember that you should add this information to context. For example, in the case of book, you can say to ChatGPT, please use the description of the course, description of the books plus the titles, but do not suggest a book outside of the list, because ChatGPT sometimes may suggest a book outside of the list. But you can say to ChatGPT directly, do not suggest book outside of the list. It's up to you, or maybe you can allow. It's up to you. So reading assistant, I have done that a lot. So you add your book content or your PDF. There is even a app called the Ask Your PDF, which transforms your PDF in the chatbot using ChatGPT online. So you can do something very similar. I have been doing that on my website, in which I have the content of my book, and I create a chatbot based on my book. I think that's a very nice application. That's the same stuff of the blog post. So instead of having blog post as a context, you have a book of context. It's very nice that ChatGPT now has a ChatGPT, I think it was 16K, which is a new option of ChatGPT that has a big context, which about 20 pages, about 20 pages that you have on your disposal. So my message is be creative. I mean, do not be creative. Do not. So I gave you a couple of suggestions how to be creative, and I hope that helps. Um, so I think that's all for now. And again, your feedback is very important for me.